Hello everyone! Today in the Crafting Castle I will be discussing Leigh Bardugo's follow-up to the Grisha trilogy, The Six of Crows. Stick around and I'll also show you what I've come up with for my fan favorite Inej inspired project. Indubitably. Oh. Cheers! So even though Six of Crows is a follow-up to the original Grisha trilogy, the main cast of characters in this series are entirely different. We do see some appearances from some other characters, but the main cast is completely different. It was a little nerve-wracking for me to, jump in with new people that I didn't know yet, but I was willing to give it a try because I really love the world. You do have a little bit of change of scenery. The dynamics and the magic of the world are still there and do play a part in the series. But what's a little bit different is how it all goes down. And the focus in this story is much more character driven than it was in the original series, where it's a little more on the magic driven lore side of things. The city of Ketterdam is very much a port of industrial trade and commerce. So there's tons of people there and there's people coming and going all the time. The city itself has a very clear divide between the wealthy merchants and the politicians and everybody else. Everybody else kind of lives in what they call the barrel. It's like the bottom of the barrel kind of society. The characters that we have for our primary cast, our Six of Crows, is made up of a bunch of criminals. The leading man of this story is Kazbrecker. He is the gang leader to one of the larger gangs in the barrel known as the Dregs. He is very much feared and intimidating to everybody around him. He's kind of on the quiet side. He has that dark and moody demeanor about him that you just don't mess with this guy. If you do, you're probably going to pay for it. The people who follow him are very loyal to him. He has a very loyal gang, and that's how he came up in the ranks, is by treating people with respect, but allowing them to know he's still in charge. Kaz's right hand is Inej. She is known as the Wraith. So she's very stealthy, she's very hidden in the shadows. People don't know a whole lot about her. She has a history that's very much on the dark side. She was born into a family of acrobats on the other side of the ocean. She was kidnapped when she was 14 years old and forced into slavery there in Ketterdam. And that's how her and Kaz got to know each other, and how, without being spoilers, how she ended up under his wing and a member of the Dregs. The crew's sharpshooter is Jesper. He's the son of a farmer. He was able to earn his way to university in Ketterdam, so he was kind of on the upper echelon of things, but he developed a gambling addiction. So he has debts that are owed to people, and joining the Dregs allows him to earn money and pay off those debts and still gamble, of course. He's the most social out of everybody in the group, so he kind of talks a whole lot. He's a lot of fun. He's got a good wit and sense of humor. We also have Nina Zenik. She is a heartrender, which means she can manipulate the blood in somebody's body that has different benefits to them. Her abilities are much more directly linked to the magic system and what we have learned and discovered in the original Grisha trilogy. So she has those abilities that were focused on in the original, and she kind of represents that now as part of the storyline. She was originally a member of the Second Army. If you don't know what that is, go back and read the original trilogy. She ended up being captured by the Fjerdan army, and another member of the group, Matthias, he was one of the people who captured her. Through a series of events and things that happened, Nina ends up saving Matthias's life, which leads to a whole bunch of different complications throughout the rest of the story. Matthias, as a soldier of the Fjerdan army, was not given a choice as a young boy. He was recruited very young, and it was kind of, this is what you do. Our last crow is Wylan. We find out he is the son of one of the wealthiest families in Ketterdam. He is going by a different name initially because he doesn't want anybody in the barrel to know who he is. Each member of this group from the dregs is very important to what's about to happen. The main focus of this story centers around a street drug called Jur de Parem. This drug enhances the magical abilities of the person who takes the drug, but it's very addictive and it's very, very dangerous. The scientist who developed the drug has actually been imprisoned in Fjerda. He is there because they want to control the trade of this drug. However, people in Ketterdam want to get him back out of there, bring him back home because it was developed there. So they have tasked Kaz to go over, break him out, bring him back home. If Kaz does this successfully, he will be paid with so much money that he will not have to worry about money for the rest of his life. So for somebody who comes from the barrel, that is huge. It's impossible to resist. So Kaz, of course, starts immediately planning who needs to come with him. Inej, Jesper, Nina. Nina suggests Matthias, and we also have Wylan. They all have different traits and abilities that are going to make this heist to break the guy out and get him back home very, very successful. It was a really fun story. It had a lot of danger and excitement, adventure around every corner. It kind of had me guessing what was going to happen. I've heard some people say it was predictable. It wasn't for me. I felt like I didn't know what to expect. And through all this, because it's such a character-centered story, you see little bits and pieces of everybody's background, and that's how you get to find out who they are and why they're important and why you want to care about these characters. Six of Crows focuses a little bit more on the characters and what we want to hear about them. It does have plot that moves everything along, of course, but the plot really expands in Crooked Kingdom. The two stories come together so beautifully for me. I really enjoyed every minute of this read. I did give Six of Crows 4 stars, and I think I may have given it a little bit higher, but because it didn't focus on the magic system as much as it did in the original Grisha trilogy, I was a little disappointed by that. But the way that Crooked Kingdom ended, I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. So for the duology, I'd give it like a 4.5 overall. Definitely something I would recommend picking up for anybody who wants something that's fast-paced, gives you really good character interaction, gives you people you want to care about, and also is just a fun heist story. There aren't a million of them out there, but there's some good ones, and this is definitely one of them for me. In the end, I really loved the different character story arcs, the ups and downs, and everything in between. They definitely are fun. I'd love to see Leigh Bardugo write more with these characters or do some more side stories, but we'll see. She's got a great brain, and I really like her storytelling. For today's project, I picked fan favorite Inej. She's a little mysterious, has a lot to say when she needs to say it, very smart young lady. So I went with her acrobat background. Very early on in Six of Crows, when you first meet her, she's out on a stakeout. She has special shoes that she wears that were like her acrobat shoes when she was a kid that she just slips on. They help her be stealthy, quiet, sneak in and out of places. She didn't get the nickname the Wraith for nothing. So today I will be making, out of this lovely faux leather, I will be making a pair of Inej slippers. I probably won't be as stealthy or sneaky as her. I'm a little bit of a klutz, but that's okay. I still like to have a cute pair of slippers. Maybe I can sneak around the house and catch up on the cat. Maybe, scare her or something. She's never scared of me. She's always just like, oh, hi, Mommy. Let's just snuggle. Oh, she left me. Oh, well. But for now, let's go get sewing. While I get that started, why don't you let me know in the comments, who was your favorite crow? Did you like Inej for her wraithness? Did you like Kaz for his sarcasm? Jesper, just because he's so friendly. I think he's probably the most adorable. Anybody, let me know. What do you think? Who's your favorite? Was there a good side, bad side? What are your thoughts on this story? Alexa, open Crafting Castle for business.
No mourners. No funerals.
Power down, crafting castle.
Suffering is like anything else. Live with it long enough, you learn to like the taste.
Thank you again for joining me during the Six of Crows Crooked Kingdom adventure today. I am so glad to have everyone here. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I would also love it if you'd ring the bell. That'll let you be notified every time there's a new video. Additionally, if there's a comment that you'd like to give me, feedback you'd like to give me, anything, I'd love to hear from you. There is a comment section in each video. There's also a discussion tab on my page. Check that out, and we will see you next time.